I've done it. After 15 years of being a high school physics teacher, I've cracked the code to solving the most difficult high school math, chemistry, and physics problems. And I'm here to share my secret with you. So I'll often have students that are in my physics class that have some anxiety and they get a lot of stressed over doing these types of problems. And I'm here to show you you're not alone. Let's get started. First step to solving these problems, write out what you know. Write down all the equations and all the facts. Once you have that out, have more of a visualization of what's going on. Draw a schematic diagram, a free body diagram, something. Once you've done that and you have all the pieces of the puzzle, it's time to solve that puzzle. And get the wrong answer. That's okay. I've done this so many times. Even now I still do it when I'm trying to solve a new problem. When I was a student, teacher, doesn't matter. Problem solving is not easy. So what do? You go back, you check your calculations, and get another wrong answer. I get this. We all do it. You're not alone. What's the next step? Well, after multiple trials, you sometimes start to look at your answer and go, well, if I divide by 2, or maybe take the square root, will that work? So at this point, you're just trying to plead for anything that your calculator might be able to do for you to get the right answer as the textbook. And if you can't, it's the textbook's fault, right? The textbook must be wrong. And although it has happened, I've seen situations where the textbook is wrong. 99% of the times, it isn't. So once you've calmed down a little and you re-look back at your problem, you'll see something like this. And I have seen these tiny little algebra mistakes all over the place, making quite a few doozies myself. So you fix it and you're like, okay. You go through fixing your calculations and you get the wrong answer again. And then you find all these other algebra mistakes. I can't tell you how many I've seen and done myself. Until finally, maybe after hours of work, you get this huge sense of euphoria. You got the right answer. It is a great feeling. If you know this feeling, you know what I'm talking about. Until you realize your teacher assigned parts B, C, D, E, F, and so on in the question. So the purpose of this video is to let you know that if this is how you're solving these problems, you're doing the right thing. This is how you become better at being a problem solver. There's no magic bullet here. Becoming a good problem solver takes practice, just like any skill. You wouldn't walk up to a piano, never having played before, and expect yourself to suddenly sit down and play Bach. No. You're going to have a lot of trouble. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. But nobody became good at anything by making no mistakes. So, pick yourself up. You got this. Keep on trying. Keep on making mistakes. And you'll find yourself being successful. Good luck. Now, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, I want you to do one of two things for me. In the comments, if you are already finished high school and you remember this situation and you've been through it, write down an encouraging comment for those students that are going through it right now to show that they're not alone. And if you're going through this right now, let me know some of your troubles in the comments. Perhaps we can all help.